So my tip is when you get up, throw a log on the fire, okay? Because once it goes out, it does get chilly. Now you don't have to wear a full parka, gloves, hat like Colin's going to do. He does, full parka, everything. But because the beds are really warm, comfortable, but once you get out to use the restroom or to get out of bed, it gets a little chilly. So.
Hey there, Richard from No Pants Profits coming to you yet again with no pants and hopefully plenty of profits. And I want to talk to you today about Under Canvas Yellowstone. As you heard from that ominous warning from our tour guide, it does get a little bit cold there. And I'm a Florida boy. Full disclosure, we were there June 20th to June 21st, 2022. I'm going to show you our full experience at Under Canvas Yellowstone, starting with this, which was the introduction we got when we got off the bus. We were the first group of the year there with Adventures by Disney, and when we did get to Under Canvas Yellowstone, Yellowstone National Park was still closed from the Great Yellowstone Floods of 2022. So here is Under Canvas's introduction to all of us for the first time, and all we knew from the driver so far is that it got a little bit cold.
Welcome to Under Canvas Yellowstone. We're so excited y'all are here. It's our first Disney group of the season, so super happy you guys are here. This is our original location of now 10 around the U.S. situated near national parks. We're biased to this one, but we think it's pretty cool. Got lots of cool things out here in Montana. One fun fact about our site is that from our location you can actually see 3 different states. We are in Montana, you can see Idaho over that way in those mountains, and then Wyoming over there in those mountains. So pretty cool. But yeah, we're so excited y'all are here. I'm going to pass off to our general manager, Harry.
Hey y'all, I'm Harry. I just wanted to thank you all for being here. We're so happy to have you. I'm going to let y'all meet the rest of our team here, but I just want to make sure you know we are available 24 hours a day. You'll have our phone number in a nice binder inside of each tent. Call, text, any hour of the day, or stop by. There'll always be somebody behind this desk to help. And I'll pass it off to Carly to tell you a little bit about the cool wildlife we have in the area.
Hello, I'm Carly. So like Danny said, we are in the corner of 3 beautiful states, so we have lots of really cool wildlife out here. Some of the cool things that I like is that we actually have rainbow trout and whitefish here on property in our South Fork, the South Fork of the Madison River down yonder. There's hammocks out there. Always feel free to hang out down there. We also have our camp moose, Sheila. So if you see her, I think she has a new cub this year, which is super cute. Not cub, whatever the baby moose are called. She's super cool. Just don't get near them because they are wildlife. They do their own thing. We also have really cool things like pronghorns, we have antelope, we have bison, horses on property right over there. We just ask that you don't touch the horses because they're in horsey rehab, so they're all here for their own reasons. We also have bears in area since we are in Montana. So the biggest thing with that is that there's no food allowed in or around any of your tents. We do have a bucket for food over here. If you want to store any of your yummy snacks, you can eat up here in the lobby. We just ask that we keep all food here up at the lobby or at our restaurant. But keep your eye out for the really amazing wildlife out here. I promise you'll see some really cool guys. And yeah, hope you enjoy it.
Alright, and we'll pass it off to Grayson here to do the fire talk.
Yeah, I'll give you guys a quick demo on how everything in your guys' tent's going to work. So yeah, if you guys want to kind of just maneuver this way so everyone can see, that'd be great. Yeah, sweet. It's a good looking group right here. So yeah, this is what the shower is going to look like here. It's just a quick pole chain like so. The water's set at a consistent temperature, but if it's too hot or too cold, just give us a text or call, and we'll gladly come help you guys out with that, cool it down, or heat it up as needed.
Alright, so just to break in here, the only heated water in the entire tent was actually your shower water, and it had a separate propane heater. And one of the other cool things you could do is you could take one of the little pieces of wood that would have got on the fire, and you can jab it up there so you don't have to hold it down while you're cleaning with another hand. So, dirty secret is just jab some wood up there, and you can shower hands-free. Again, remember, the only heated water is in the shower, and that's how they can make it hotter or colder, because they have a propane tank that's heating up that freezing cold water.
So what you guys' sinks are going to look like is just to push down like so. The water's totally safe to drink. We have a private well that we run it from here, so some good quality Montana water. This is going to be a wood stove here. This is going to be your primary source of heat.
That's some grade A foreboding there, and I don't even want to imagine what the secondary source of heat would be.
Just to get started here, everything you guys need to start a fire will be provided in the tent already. This is your guys' fire starter. This is what you guys will start out with first. You just light a match to this. This will go up pretty well. Then from there, you just kind of throw it near the back underneath the chimney, so that way the smoke goes up this way rather than out into your faces. Just be a little cautious as well, because this does tend to fall down the grill, which can be super annoying. I've learned the hard way several times. But just to combat that, I like to make a little tray using the kindling, and that just kind of keeps it from falling down there. And then from there, it's just kindling on top, and more kindling. Just kind of make sure the fire can breathe, especially during this first stages of the fire building. We call it babying the fire. It just takes a lot more attention and care for this first part. But from there, it's just more kindling on top until eventually you get to logs. I recommend putting on the smallest pieces of logs first. That's just the easiest for it to light. Embers are going to be your guys' best friends. You guys all know what embers are, right? Yeah. Well, if you don't, when a fire goes for a long time, the log will start turning bright orange and they'll start glowing. Those are way hotter than any flames you guys will get, and they last a pretty long time as well. So what I like to do is I like to throw this first log on here, and then once this log gets so burnt, it physically cracks in half. I like to start making a little pile of embers in the back here, in between these two logs. And then from there, just another log on top, and then another log on here. So that way it makes an X like so. The X is really nice because it really helps the oxygen go through and up into the fire. And then from there, you're welcome to close the door. I personally like to just keep it open, because what tends to happen a lot of the time is it just completely suffocates the fire and it's a complete smoke out. But if you do want to close it, whether for whatever reasons, if you want to go out for a little bit and then you're going to come back later to your fire, you're good to close it like so. As you can see, there's a little vent right here. Obviously, the more open it is, the better it can breathe and the better the fire burns. If you want to kill your fire, just go ahead and suffocate it like so. At night, we recommend, if you guys get up at all throughout the night, just make sure you guys kind of check on it, maybe throw a log or two on it.
If you guys get up throughout the night. I didn't sleep more than an hour the 2 nights we were there. Again, foreboding?
But if you guys are worried about it or kind of struggling with it, we love starting fires, so go ahead and give us a text or call, and we'll happily come help you guys out with that.
I'm not going to lie. We took them up 5 or 6 times on this offer with different things that were going on, all the way from fire to wasp in the cabin that they came out and very gleefully murdered. So there might be some psychopaths working here, but they were very helpful psychopaths.
Is there any questions so far with these 2 things? Sweet, yeah. In terms of electricity, you guys will have little battery packs in your guys' tent. They look like so. Outlets on the top here, and there's a button either on the front here like this one, or maybe on the side here. Each dot is a full phone charge.
So I want to be very clear. There is no electricity in the tents, and this is their one location that they actually have cell phone service at. So we did have AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile cell phone service, so all of them actually worked. One beep is not always equivalent to one full charge on a phone, because phones vary from about 2,000 milliamp hour batteries to the bigger Android phones, 5,000 or 6,000 milliamp hour batteries. So a statement like that's a little broad. Bring your own batteries.
For lighting and whatnot, this will be in your guys' bathrooms. These are called little Acorn Lanterns. You just twist the top to turn on and off. The fans are pretty easy. This one just has a switch on the back, and then a button with several different settings for this one. With this bigger one here, it can be kind of tricky because you got to press the notch to turn it on. This one's dead. Once you just turn it on there and then twist the notch to turn it on.
Yeah, I will say the lanterns themselves were absolutely fantastic. The only problem is, out of our 3 lanterns we had, every single one got a wasp on it inside of our tent. A big old wasp inside of our tent on the lantern, and the... I don't want to say Satanist, but the very loving of killing wasp employees brought their multi-tool over and just crushed them. So that was
Any questions with those? All right, sweet. Staying over there, we'll run you guys through the lobby tour. Alright, so talk about the restaurant, grab and go, s'mores, and all that good stuff. If you see up here, first green rooftop building closest to us is our restaurant. Dinner's from 5 to 9, breakfast 7
You
to
guessed it, a bit more foreboding there, and what was edible at the restaurant was very, very tiny portions. So right after we left Under Canvas, I was really, really happy to have a buffet to
We
eat.
don't do lunch. We just have our grab and go options right over here. So feel free to take any of that and just check it out with us before you head out for the day, anything like that. And over here behind you, we have s'mores. We usually get the fire pits going about 6:30, 6:45. S'mores are from 7 to whenever we see people stop eating, pretty much. Our fire pits are located just right over here. It's a little Bronco bar, and also to the right outside of this door over here. We have live music every night from 7 to 9 as well. And feel free to check out our retail section over here as well as our complimentary coffee and hot cocoa bar right around the corner, open 24/7. Lobby's always open 24/7. There's always someone here behind the desk. So with anything like that, just text Zingle us, and we can gladly assist you with
I
whatever.
will say to their credit, whatever Zingle is, I guess that's their internal messaging system that they use, they were super duper 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 responsive. Again, we did have phone service and internet. I don't know how they do this at their 9 other locations, but when we set off the smoke detector and different things inside, they were very responsive, came out within about 4 or 5 minutes. It was really quite amazing.
You guys a little bit about our activities. So we do have yoga every morning at 7:30, and that will be at that tent located right behind us there. And we also have watercolor postcard painting, and that'll be in that tent as well. Live music going on tonight. I believe that'll be in the lobby, so it's a little chilly. So we have Wyatt Hurts tonight. Really fun. And then as Staten said for a little bit, our restaurant is open 7 to 10 in the morning, 5 to 9 for dinner. And it's going to be that first building with the green roof up the road there. But cool. Happy to have you guys here.
All right, so now it's time to go check out our actual glamp site. This is Glamping, by the way. So I want to show you the tent. I'll give you a little tour of what is in the tent, and then I'll show you some of our trials and tribulations in the tent before we go on to the on-site dining, because this is in the middle of nowhere. So the only place you eat is there, and you're not allowed to have food in your tent. So you couldn't even bring in snacks from the bus if you wanted to. All right, welcome to Tent 77, which was centrally located between the lobby and where the food was. So you can see this is their normal accommodations. It's for 2 adults. Did have a giant, probably king-size bed, and we did have a cot as well, which kept me very near and dear by the fire. You can see our firewood out front. There is no lock, so if you do have valuables, they say there's never been a problem. You got that nice seating area up there, but you've literally just got that nice little pull tab. I've only got one hand, so I'm doing what I can with one hand right here. So you got that nice little pull tab. You've got 2 different shades, both one to keep everything out and one to keep the bugs out. And there is the infamous stove there. And you see you've got some extra firewood inside, a nice animal skin rug, some seating. Wasn't looking too bad right now. We got our battery packs. We've got the same fans I have at home. And those are, I think they're Rav Power was who they were. And they're like 15,000 milliamp hour battery packs. Weren't fully charged. I got a fan right there. Those are USB-C powered fans. I actually have those fans at home. And USB-C powered lanterns, which was pretty much, if your fire went out, that was the only way you were seeing, unless you use your phone's flashlight at night. Gigantic bed, and some nice amenities there to actually do it. But you can see it's already getting a little bit windy. You can see how that tent is kind of blowing in and out. It is extremely windy, and right now it's in the mid-50s or so. We've got duplicates of the battery pack, we've got the fan, and we've got the light on the other side, and we've got a nice little directory right there, and our towels, hand towels, lots of pillows. Like I said, we did have them bring in a cot right here, because I did sleep by the fire. We've got a nice little fire extinguisher there, and as you enter the bathroom there, that sink is cold water only. And you have to push it down to keep it going. So you always have to have one hand on something. We got that light, which did eventually get covered in a wasp along with those other 2 other 2 lanterns as well, and you can see the O-ring kind of slipping off there. There's Richie. And we've got an actual functioning toilet. That's the one part of glamping that I was pretty impressed by. That's not a camp toilet or anything like that. That is an actual plumbed and flushing toilet, which is fantastic to see. And then you've got a huge shower right there, and like he was showing in that video before, you've got your pull chains right there. The shower is operated by propane, so the water, it was kind of weird, there was a handprint already there. I had just gone in for the first time, but it is, you just pull it down, give it about 30 seconds, and the propane hits in, and it's just an RV water heater right in there. So it's just got an RV water heater right there, and that's what's actually doing it. And you've got your amenities of your shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. Not a huge tent, not a tiny tent, a little bit bigger than a cruise ship a whole cruise ship cabin, just to give you some metrics there. But you got your own deck and everything like that, and our luggage got delivered, and you can see there are 103 tents, they said, on the property. Really cool, at first. And when I went to the bathroom for the first time, I was like, hey, where's the door? So eventually I did actually find a bathroom door, which they didn't talk about in their little intro speech, but you just latch it off right there. It's not a full door, but it helps. And I will tell you, that is the colder side of the cabin, so you really wouldn't be closing that door anyway. Hopefully. Alright, and now it's time to talk about really the only place to get a hot meal on property. I believe this was actually run by a third party, because they did have different prices than the main lobby tent. Beers were $1 less here than they were at the main lobby tent. But this is kind of a log cabin on property, kind of calls out to me of the world of outdoor world. I will tell you, the food was not very flavorful, nor was it very portion large. I think the portions were extremely tiny, but it was the only place. Now, there were some families that were with us on the trip that were actually buying their kids extra food. They were buying cheeseburgers and different things like that. We were there with Adventures by Disney, so we did actually have a preset menu that we had to choose days in advance, and they still made some food like this. I'm going to give you an idea of some of the food that was there, but you can see, you can look around. It looks very kind of outdoor world-ish in nature. They even had a fancy like wine room inside of that mountain. But you can see beautiful scenery, but I'll tell you, the food was not very flavorful and very, very tiny in its portionality. So to give you a perfect example, the first night we were staying at Under Canvas Yellowstone, this was dinner. This was bison short rib. It was very good. I'm not going to say it was, I mean, it was okay. I was kind of starving there, but that was the whole meal. No appetizer, no dessert, nothing like that. And not just me, who's a big boy, but a lot of the other people were like, that's it? Really? That's it? So yeah, there was bison, but that's it. That was dinner the first night. I will bring something cool and positive into the conversation. We did happen to see a double rainbow right when dinner had finished, so that was really cool, and that's one of the best memories there. Beautiful scenery. And now I'll just insert a little campfire discussion from when I was making some s'mores. If you got kids, cover your ears.
Want a shot, Richard?
I mean, a whiskey of... Do you guys want a shot? Did you know that gas stations could sell hard liquor in this state? The one we stopped at for the bathroom, they had pre-mixed double shots that you could buy.
Says a lot about a place.
But that's like, for that town, that's like their Walmart. Like, seriously, like, you get a pre-mixed double shot at the gas station. I was like, oh, maybe.
That's awesome.
But it was before 10. But after dinner that first night, we stayed for 2 nights. This was dessert. This was dessert the second night as well. They provided this, and you could make some nice s'mores action right there. You could see, and it broke. I will say the food didn't go much uphill from there. This is cold breakfast sandwich for breakfast, followed by cold dinner sandwich on chicken, followed by cold breakfast sandwich on a plate the next day. I do want to say, and I cannot stress this enough, that every single member of the staff at Under Canvas was absolutely incredible and did the absolute best they can. Irregardless of what my final review is here, which is not going to be the best thing. It had nothing to do with the staffs and had everything to do with, I guess, us Floridians being unprepared for glamping. This is the staff, when it was freezing outside, actually giving us a ride from the main lobby, which you're going to see in a second, all the way over to the food hall, which we've talked about previously. Alright, so this is the main lobby building of Under Canvas. This is where you actually saw that introduction happen earlier. This is pretty much where a bus can pull up and drop off a whole bunch of people. Remember, there are 10 locations across the U.S. This is their only one with internet service. in West Yellowstone. That is the fire starting supplies. They've got a whole bunch of stuff. I think that's mostly available for purchase, but some of it may be included as well. Obviously, the merchandise is not. And there you've got where we were getting the fire demonstration. This is actually a heated tent that is heated by those mosquito heaters up there like we have in Florida for the 3 days a year it gets cold. Some local crafts and things like that. They do have walking sticks available to borrow, as well as yoga mats available to borrow, and hot chocolate, unlimited hot chocolate all night long. They have a excursions person that was actually able to help people get into Yellowstone the day it opened, and a bar in the evening. Who would have thunk a bar in the evening would have been beneficial? And then you've also got a great place, and you've got a gentleman here who's playing music. It was a gentleman alone the first night, gentleman with another lady, and you've got this whole outside section, which is where the fire pit. And if you don't have a bathroom in your actual tent, you've actually got bath houses there, because there are some tents that are so small they don't have bathrooms in it. But you can see 103 tents right there on the property. See the fire pit going nice and empty, no one there. But there's that main tent on the right, shipping container where they store all the important stuff. But that's the main common area outside of the restaurant that's available at Under Canvas Yellowstone.
There's fake news, past news, COVID lockdown blues. Gotta take Google got the money. Fact check my breath, my intuition that said the wrong place. Ain't nobody saying that fake news, past news, COVID lockdown blues. Gotta take Google got the money. Fact check.
And you know what? You just saw those music acts, and I'm not gonna lie. Up until that point in the evening, it wasn't that bad. It was about 50 degrees-ish both nights. It wasn't that bad, but it was time to go back to the tent and set the fire. And, I made a separate video on this page, which I will try and link right above there, of me actually setting the fire. But it's not just setting the fire that's hard. It's maintaining the fire. And they say you wake up once a night. Problem is, the fire likes to go out if you don't feed it every hour and a half. So I was up all night, and yes, I eventually did fall asleep nice and cozy under those foreboding blankets. But guess what happened when I woke up in the morning? Well, this fire you see right here, I had to reset at about 3 o'clock in the morning, which fortunately was right when the final episode of Kenobi dropped on Disney+. So, it at least gave me something to do while I built the fire. And yes, I did bring my infrared thermometer with me so I could see. Even though the logs were hot and the cabin started out kind of cool, you could see how warm it kept me all night. We woke up at 30 degrees in the morning. Look, overall, Under Canvas is not an experience that I myself or any of the 24 out of the 26 people that were traveling with me would do again. There were 2 people that enjoyed the torture, but I will tell you, 2 nights in a row we woke up to tents that were somewhere between 30 and 40 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm sitting right here in an 80-degree room right now. Yes, this is kind of a server room of sorts where I do my no pantsing, but, I had to wear pants. No pants, had to actually wear pants. I just can't, in good conscience, recommend going to Under Canvas Yellowstone at this time. Not only for the weather, but for the really bad food service. Honestly, the food service was awful. And remember, again, that's all you can eat for miles. There's no Uber Eats, there's nothing like that. I was very happy and very fortunate that when I had to reset a fire multiple times during the night, I had access to cellular internet and can watch Disney Plus and The Boys on Netflix and other stuff like that. Not Netflix, on Amazon Prime. Highly recommended if you haven't seen it. But here's the real reality. Glamping is not nearly as glamorous as they want you to think it to be. But I will leave you with 2 things. Again, 2 big thumbs down from myself. from No Pants Profits. Even if it were to warm up, it's just not worth it. Get a hotel room. They can charge whatever they want for these tents because they are not fixed hotel rooms. So hotel rooms have maximum rates. They are charging hundreds and hundreds of dollars a night for you to fend for yourself. I will say, right afterwards, we did go to a place that had this thing. It was a novel idea. It was called Electricity and Heat at the Grand Tetons Lodge, which... 2 big thumbs up for the Grand Tetons Lodge. I don't think I need to make a video on that. But if you do have any questions, anything about, I tried to show as much of this experience as I can. I'm going to show you 2 last pictures at the end before we go out. But if you have any questions about Under Canvas Yellowstone, anything like that, feel free to drop them in the comments below. This is Richard from No Pants Profits, reminding you when you camp wearing no pants, the only thing you have to lose is maybe frostbite. If you got any questions, leave them in the comment below. See you around. Bye! I leave you with this beautiful long exposure photograph of me pantsless. It took a few hours to actually take when I was trying to start a fire. Beautiful stars. And this great 360 of the camp time lapse. Have a great one. Bye!